Today we're going to be talking about the best non-allocated bourbons of 2024. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bourbon Reviews. I'm Brad, and today we're going to be going through all of the best non-allocated bottles in 2024. But before we get into it, a few rules. First off, it did not have to be released in 2024. Some of them are, some of them are not. Two, I had to at least try the bottle for the first time in 2024, and I have to own the bottle. I got some questions recently as to why that is one of my requirements. For me, if I try something at a bar, I could be like hyped up in the moment, really enjoy it, and then get home and not like it as much if I try it in a bottle. So I try to do all of the things that I review at home alone, and to do it as like scientifically as possible. And that sounds stupid, but like I try to give it everything a fair shake. So I've had experiences at some bars in Florida where I order something and I've had it 1,000 times and I just like simply know that's not what's in the glass. So that's why I do it, because I can verify what's in the bottle is what's in the bottle, and I've given it some scrutiny. I'm not just enjoying it and passing in a bar. So that's why. But these are non-allocated bourbons that are pretty much available. I see these all over the place in my area. Of course, distribution is different for everybody. So if these are not available near you, I'm sorry, these are widely available at damn near every liquor store in Florida. So let's go ahead, get into these, and these are in no particular order. Let's move on to the first one. First one up is a little bottle that surprised the hell out of me when I first tried it. This is Jim Beam Sunshine Blend. I love this thing. This is the second bottle of Jim Beam Sunshine Blend I've purchased. Actually got this in a trade with a friend. He just did it to sweeten the deal with something else because he knows I genuinely like it. The reason I like this so much is because this is technically like a limited edition. It is not something that is like a standard release. It's a $20 to $25, depending on where you get it, special release from Jim Beam that's actually pretty solid. So I couldn't do this video and not include this bottle on the list. I love this thing, and it's unironically one of my favorite things that Jim Beam does. But before we get any further into the video, we need to thank today's sponsor, Smoke and Serve. Smoke and Serve reached out to me a few weeks ago and sent me this, and it arrived just a few days ago, and I have just been in love with this thing since I got it. Look, there's cocktail smokers, and then there's Smoke and Serve. The set that you get with this is absolutely incredible. You get a Smoke and Serve tray, 4 hand-blown cocktail glasses, a rechargeable smoking gun, sample bag of applewood chips, and 4 cork stoppers. This thing is so much fun to break out at parties and make cocktails with. I love making old fashions, and this just elevates them to a different level. The design of this is incredible. Being able to smoke and carry the drinks that you've made on one serving tray is just genius. I love this thing so much. If you are interested in one of these yourself, which you should be, there will be a link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on screen. And thank you again to Smoke and Serve for sponsoring this video. Moving on to the next one. A bottle that I'm very happy that I got because it was able to kind of redeem a distillery for me and make me explore a lot of their stuff a lot more. I really like weeded bourbons, but the Green River weeded bourbon is just really bad in my opinion. I don't like it at all. But this bottle changed that around for me. This is Green River Foolproof. I love this thing. I see this all around. It's like $45-50 for a $45-50 foolproof bottle. You really can't do much better in that price range outside of like getting like a Weller foolproof if you're lucky enough to get one of those at MSRP. But outside of that, this is one of the best values in bourbon in 2024, and it really changed my opinion of Green River completely. So I'm so happy that I got my hands on one of these, and I honestly don't think I'll ever have a day where this isn't on the shelf. This thing is amazing. I think I've done full reviews on all these, so if you're curious about, and you're like, I'm not going to do notes on every single bottle just because I've done that already. If you're curious, you can find it. Just search the name of the bottle, Brad's Bourbon Reviews. It should pop right up. This one actually was on the cusp of my top 10 of the year for 2024 across all bottles. I just couldn't justify replacing it with some of the other ones on that list. That's the only reason it didn't make it, but I knew when I was coming up with this list that this was going to be on there for sure. Moving on to the next one. Up next is another bottle from Jim Beam. They have just crushed it for me this year. This is Jim Beam Winter Reserve. I love this thing for all the same reasons that I love the Sunshine Blend. This is the winter version of Sunshine Blend. It's really good. It's 86 proof. You can drink it, you can enjoy it, you can mix it, not feel guilty. It's around $20. The notes on here, they say, are like notes of vanilla and cinnamon, and that is dead on accurate. That's pretty much all you get. It's kind of a 2-note bourbon, but it's really solid. If you are like reluctant to try these like little one-off things from Jim Beam, I was too until I tried the Sunshine Blend, and I honestly bought it as a joke because I thought it would be pretty bad, but it's not. They're actually really good. So if you can find these, I would urge you to get these. These are, like I said, they're great for mixing if you want to mix with like cider or even in your hot chocolate. I think would be pretty good. However you want to make it, this bottle is fantastic. Jim Beam did a really good job in 2024 doing some like more special release stuff. Moving on to the next one. This one is a favorite of a lot of bourbon YouTube channels. Now, I do really like it, but I'm I'm not including it to the level that people are including it. I think it's a solid $50 bottle from Barts. This is the Origin series, their high wheat mash bill. This is the one with 39% wheat in it. People are calling this a Weller 107 killer. I don't want to be that guy, but no, it isn't. It's not. It's not that good. Weller 107 is one of the best wheated bourbons on the market. It's fantastic, but this is good in and of its own right. I wish people would quit comparing every wheated bourbon to Weller, because that kind of does this an injustice in my opinion, because this is such a solid bottle for the price point that it's like, it's not fair to compare it. You should compare it more to something along the lines of like a Maker's Mark 101. That's like a special release from Maker's Mark. This crushes that in my opinion. So these are really, really good. I don't know how available these are, but I do know they're not allocated because I see them on the shelves all over the place here in Florida. So if you see one of these, I would say grab it. I say give it a shot and see if you like it. If you're not really into wheated bourbons, this might be a different direction for you to go into outside of like the trying to get a Weller Maker's Mark stuff. This is a pretty solid wheated bourbon. So I would also recommend the other wheated Origin series. I think it's the black label. I always get them confused. It's whatever the other, or I think it's the black label. I'd recommend that one too, but this one came out in 2024, so it makes the list. Moving on to the next one. All right, I forgot about this one. I forgot that I even pulled this for the video. This is a rye whiskey. This is not a bourbon. So yes, the thumbnail said 6 bourbons. It's just whatever. I'm sorry. This is a Overholt straight rye whiskey. This is another bottle from Jim Beam. I adore this thing. I have turned so many people onto this bottle, and it's people that are so shocked when they try this because they don't think they're going to like it, and then they end up really digging it. So I can't recommend this one enough. It is very unique. It is an old school rye mash bill. It's a revival of an old brand from Jim Beam, and they just did an absolute bang up job making this bottle. I love this thing. This is another one for me that I will have on the shelf. It's not allocated. I see it at Total Wine all the time. I think you should get this bottle and give it a shot. It's like $40. It blew me away for a 95 proof rye whiskey with not really an age statement on it. Pretty damn good. So give it a shot if you see it. Moving on to the last one. This bottle, I cannot believe, and just because this is the last one does not mean this is number one. I cannot believe it took me so long to try this. I was obsessed with Old Forester when I first started getting into whiskey and bourbon, and I bought a ton of the Old Forester Whiskey Row series, but for some reason I never picked up the 1897 until I tried it at a bar in Orlando, and I left the bar and I immediately went to ABC and bought one of these for myself. This is the 1897, the bottled in bond. This is, in my opinion, outside of the 1924, probably the best in the lineup for the Whiskey Row series. I think it's fantastic. The notes on this are beautiful. These are available at every single liquor store. No, this did not come out in 2024, but for some reason I hadn't tried it up until 2024. So now that I have tried it, and with the availability of this will never not be on my shelf. Trust me, this is one of the better of the Old Forester Whiskey Row series. I would say try to find the 1924 if you can. I really like it. It won my blind, but this came in second if I remember correctly. So it's just a great, great bottle. So I haven't been recording videos since I've recorded. All the videos you've been watching have been pre-recorded for like a while now. This is the first time I've recorded a video since 2025 started. So this is, I'm recording in 2025. Thank you very, very much. I hit 3,000 subscribers last year. That's crazy. I think technically I had like 400 at the beginning of the year, but I wasn't focusing on YouTube at all. I was focusing all my efforts on trying to grow my TikTok because that was growing quicker than this was growing. But I really started focusing on YouTube around like May or June of last year, and it has grown crazy. And I cannot thank you enough for that. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 5,000 by July. I think it's possible. July 1st, we could do it. And then maybe 10,000's in the cards for this year. I'm going to try some newer content ideas that I have and try to stretch the scope of what I'm able to produce content-wise and not just have these where it's just me and two cameras. Like, I'm still going to do that. Obviously, that's what this channel is. And that's what this channel will always be. But I have some ideas for a few other things that I'm going to start doing in 2025. Now that we're here in 2025. It's kind of crazy. Thank you all for being a part of the ride. It means the world to me. I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, cheers. A big thank you to all the Patreon supporters you see on screen right now.